Okay, good afternoon. Happy Monday as well. It is 2:30 p.m. Pacific time. We decided to do an afternoon version today. We've done a few of those lately, as we do these daily. And today is Market to Message Match Monday. It still is Market to Message Match Monday, even though we're doing the show later in the day. Before we get into the content, I'd like to introduce my co-host, Ronan Rahman. Hi there.
Hey, how are you?
How are you? And my head is a little big in this camera view, isn't
it? It actually fits your personality, so it's perfect.
Oh, right. Yeah, big personality.
Anyway, we are here not just to have some fun. We're here to talk about Message to Market Match, which to me is like the most important, which is why we do it at the beginning of the week, the most important conversation that we have. It's the foundation. Actually, it's more than the foundation, because before you pour a foundation, you have to put in the underground plumbing. We're the underground plumbing here.
Awesome.
So I'm going to let you do to it. Just a reminder to people that we are live. And so you do want to click down, leave comments down below, questions, whatever you got. Okay.
Excellent. All right. Okay. So market to message match, as Ronan said, this is a foundational piece to getting sales appointments. It's really a foundational piece to any marketing campaign that you are going to or are currently running. And when we are in our business reaching out to generate sales appointments for ourselves and for clients, it's a campaign. And so we may have a campaign that speaks to one group of folks over here, and we may have another campaign that speaks to a different group of people over here. And so this formula that I'm going to share with you here in a moment, it's for building out or starting to build out a campaign that you're going to run, in this case, to get a sales appointment. But you can use this same exact formula to build out any kind of a campaign, whether it's a Facebook ad campaign, an email marketing campaign, you name it. And we use it to develop all of ours. So I'm going to have Ronan share my screen. There you go. Thank you very much. Let me get to the right screen and kick this thing off. Market to message match. All right. In full view. So you may want to write this down as well, or take screenshots, whatever you prefer, because I am going to actually give you a formula to remember and use. So the first part of it is industry. So before we can speak to anyone or create messaging for anyone to consume, we need to drill down into really understanding who that person is. And I start with industry. So pick an industry, right? It's not that difficult to do that you want to do business in or that you are doing business in. Industries are things like sports is an industry, automotive is an industry, technology could be considered an industry, healthcare could be considered an industry, travel could be considered an industry. Hopefully that industry is not going away anytime soon, right? So those are industries. And so write down an industry that you do business in for this example of building out a campaign message, essentially. Okay, the next layer to think about is what segment in the industry that do you want to work within. So, and you may work in multiple market segments within the industry. I get it. But for this exercise, it only works if you follow along. And again, think about this like a campaign. You can have dozens of parallel campaigns running at the same time, selling exactly the same product or service to different people. That's okay. But in order to make it work, you need to speak directly to an individual person. You've probably heard about niche marketing before. That's what this kind of is. Okay, so market segment. So usually industries have thousands, if not tens of thousands of segments and subsegments within them. So pick as specific a market segment as you can possibly think. So let's say you chose travel as your industry. Maybe a segment is cruise lines. Maybe even a subsegment of that are cruises that specialize in adult cruises, or specialize in family cruises, or specialize in seminar cruises, right? There's all different types of cruises. Well, there used to be anyway. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about a market segment. All right. And so whatever industry you chose, pick the specific market segment you want to develop a campaign in. And then next is you want to think of who is it that works in that market segment do you want to have a conversation with? Who is it that works in that market segment you want to have consume your message, whether your message is comes in the form of a message on Facebook or an ad on the freeway or a Facebook post or an email. Who is it you want to have receive that message, and who do you want to respond to that message, right? So sometimes I'll use this as a visualization tool. If I were to walk into a room that had a boardroom in it, a board table in it, and there were 12 seats, who are the 12 people I want to have in that room to talk to about whatever it is that I offer? Okay, so think of those people specifically. You can also think of in terms of people's job titles or positions in the company, things like that. So to help guide your thought process as to the who is your, in this case, we're calling them an ideal prospect, but it's really the person. Who is it that you want to have that conversation with? I may even change the name of that piece of the formula so it's more clear. And then finally, and this is really an important step and something, and it kind of brings everything together. And the reason that we've gone through this drill down process is as you're thinking about these people that you want to have conversation with, I want you to write down now or after watching this video, what do they desire, and what are they suffering from? Okay, and in particular in their work environment. Okay, now when I say what are they suffering from in their work environment, it doesn't mean that they're physically getting hurt or they're being mentally berated or something like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about things that may frustrate them, that they either feel like they have to do or they must do, and maybe you can solve that for them. Or maybe they're frustrated with not having enough time or not having enough help, things like that. And by getting your help, they can free up their time and do more of the things they want to do. An example I often use is like, the people that come every week and mow my lawn and trim the hedges in the front of the house, right? It's something that frees up a frustration of mine. I don't like doing it, right? And if I didn't have those people coming every week, it wouldn't get done very well or not at all. And then it'll just frustrate me because I'll be looking at my overgrown lawn and my overgrown bushes. And so that's what I'm talking about when you're reaching into a pain point. Okay. And then for desire, it's great if you can come up with both a solution to a frustration or pain point or a worry, as well as provide something that they truly desire, right? Maybe more money, time, wealth, relationships, whatever it is that they desire more of. If you can provide a solution to that and tie that into also solving a frustration or pain point, you really have you can really craft a strong message that's going to resonate well with your ideal prospect or the people that you want to have consume it. Now, I'll show you a couple of examples here. In fact, I'll just read one that I use often, which is guaranteed appointments for business consultants and coaches seeking clients with six-figure budgets. So that's actually a headline that I use oftentimes on my LinkedIn profile or as a Facebook post or things like that, or to promote an event as an example. So what I'm doing here is I'm calling out my who, my business coaches and business consultants and coaches, and I'm also indirectly, but very specifically in a way as well, calling out a pain point and a desire at the same time by using the phrase seeking clients with six-figure budgets, because I know that business coaches and consultants oftentimes struggle with not just finding clients, but finding clients that have budgets that they can hire them with. Okay. And so I'm calling out a desire that they have, and I'm also addressing a pain point that they also have in those few words. So that's what I'm talking about, incorporating both a desire and a pain point in the same statement. And that's an example. So let me show you one more just so you can see a completely different example. This is actually part of our talk tomorrow, but here's another example for our friend and client, Dana Earhart. Get your weekends and evenings back while building a wildly successful accounting, bookkeeping, CFO, and law firm. So if you happen to be an accountant or a bookkeeper or an outsourced CFO or an attorney, reach out to Dana, because this is what she's going to do for you. Help you not only build that successful firm, which is what you desire, but she's also going to help you get some time back. And a lot of the people in her struggle with that. They're working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it seems often. And so that's what she can bring to the table for her ideal prospect in this case. So that's a different way of using the formula to create a powerful statement that resonates well with a market audience. And so I'm going to come back here and exit out of this and come back to full screen. Hello. And that's pretty much what I wanted to go over today. I don't have anything else. One thing I do want to mention is that Ronan and I are putting together a deep dive workshop event called Guaranteed Sales Appointments. Fancy that. And if you're interested in attending, please go to the website guaranteedappointmentslive.com and just fill out the information there. And that'll add you to our database and our list of interested people. There's nothing to buy there. It's just literally adding yourself to our database. In fact, you might even get something cool in the mail. So just as a gift. But and then Ronan, do you have anything else you want to add to the conversation about market to message match?
Yeah, I just want to reemphasize how important it is, because it is the digital version of what do you do? And
the digital version of what do you do?
Yeah, like you go to a live networking meeting, your headline is what you would deliver. And the other thing is that I most of the time I see people's job description and what they do and things like that. What I don't tend to see is the pain point. Sometimes I'll see a headline. I don't see the pain point. When I don't see the pain point, then I'm thinking, okay, well, there's something missing here. So when you're out there putting this together, then you want to make sure that that pain point is included, because just telling people what you do is like walking up to someone and saying, I clean carpets, rather than I make your house wonderful, clean smelling by cleaning your carpets.
Yeah, it's what do you do? Who do you do it for? And what's the desire or pain point that you solve or address for those people? That's really it. It's those three parts. If you can come up with statements like that, and then you can build a whole campaign around it, right? So, and I don't know why my camera went off, and then I clicked some buttons.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's the big thing. The pain point I see is the big thing that's missing, even when people have a headline that is more than just their job title and company. So, and tomorrow I'm excited because we get to expand on this conversation because we're going to talk about the 3-point power profile. And this is a part of it, but you're going to see how it fits into the whole gestalt of the whole thing.
How it flows and puts the pieces together. Awesome. Well, wonderful. It's different doing these in the afternoon. I kind of like it in some ways. So
yeah,
but good.
All right.
Well, for those listening live or the recording, have a great rest of whatever day it is for you at that time. And we'll see you on another episode.